Hi, I'm Ashley Salaya Dow here with Balanced Body in Sacramento, California, bringing you a short 20-minute flow on the Reformer, focusing on spinal articulation. So go ahead, grab your Reformer, and let's get going. Hi there, so I have Calvin here. He's gonna join us today. I have one blue spring on the Reformer. I'm gonna ask Calvin to step inside the well. Now, for those of you joining at home, please be mindful of any rope straps, anything that might get in your way as you come into your well. Now with the one blue spring, it's gonna be fairly light just to give us some nice traction. I'm gonna have Calvin start in a nice parallel position. On his inhale, he's gonna sweep those arms up, take a nice big breath, tuck the chin to the chest and roll forward. Now as he rolls forward, he's gonna bring his hands on top of his shoulder blocks. Now depending on how tall you are, how much length you have in your body, you can adjust your feet back towards the back edge or stay a little bit closer. Now we're gonna start with some spinal articulation, much like your cat-cow positions. So he's gonna take an inhale to prepare. On the exhale, he's going to round his spine, and as he rounds, he's gonna pull that carriage towards his shins, rounding through the spine. There we go. And then inhale, lengthen his spine back out, nice long flat back. Do that a couple more times. Exhale, round the spine under, tucking the chin to the chest, belly back into the spine, lengthening from head to tail as he resets. We'll do that one more time. Exhale, round under, drawing that carriage towards the shins. Nice big round back position. And then flatten back out on the inhale. Now the reverse of that, we're going up into extension. So on your next inhale, he's going to broaden across the collarbones, lift the head, lift the chest, pull that carriage towards his shins, and exhale, flat back down. Inhale to lift the head, the chest, pulling that carriage towards his shins, drawing up through those abs, and then flat back down. We'll do one more just like that. Nice big inhale, open the collarbones, widen the chest as you lift. And as he lowers back down into a flat back position, he's still supported with his abs. He's gonna stay here, just soften those knees, come down into a gentle squat. Lifting the head and the chest just a little bit. From here, he's gonna take a row, bending those elbows, pull the carriage towards you, squeeze back through those arms, good, and lengthen back long. I like my exhale as I pull. Inhale for length. We'll do this a few more times, really squeezing through those arms, widening through the front of the chest. Exhale, pull. Good, one more just like that. Nice squeeze back. Now, as he brings that carriage back towards the stopper, I'm gonna have him shift forward into a plank position. Shoulders come over the hands, over the shoulder blocks, and feet will step back behind you. Now, be mindful in your plank, we wanna slightly lengthen that low back, draw up through those abs, so almost tucking, if you will. He's gonna hold his plank here, and with his hips, we're gonna take a little rotation side to side. One hip drops low, one goes a little bit higher, and then switch sides. One hip low, one hip high. Now, if rotation is not in your spine, not in your body, a couple of options would be just to hold the plank and breathe in that long, straight position. Or you can even rock forward and back through your toes and just get that little rocking motion. Now, once he's done an even amount side to side, he'll come back into that plank, press his hips back into a forward fold or downward facing dog kind of position. Now we're gonna take a very similar set. Instead of hands on top, he's gonna wrap his hands around the side of the shoulder block, so a little bit wider of a position. On your inhale, we hold here. Exhale, he's going to round under into that cat-cow position here. Lengthen back out on your inhale. Reversing that, lift the head, lift the chest up into extension, bringing that carriage back with you. Broadening those shoulders, good, lower back down. Repeating that pattern, exhale, round under, drawing that tail down, drawing the chin in, lengthening back out, reversing the spine, lift the head, lift the heart up into extension, abs come with you, and back down. One more time in each direction. Exhale, round under. Use those abs like you're doing a crunch here, forward ab curl. Lengthen back out. And arch that back, lift the head, lift the chest, bring those abs with you. Good. And lower down halfway, nice long flat back, kind of parallel to the floor. Soften your knees back down into a little squat, and this time take a wide row. Elbows pull wide as you pull the carriage towards your shins and lengthen back out. Now being mindful here, you don't pull too quick, too fast, and hit your shins with your head rests. So always going with control. We'll do this a couple more times. Even weight through both feet, squeezing back through those arms. Last one here as he reaches those arms forward back to the stopper. Hands shift up on top of the shoulder blocks. Walk your way back out into a plank. One more time. In a plank position, nice wide collarbones, lengthening through that back, lifting through those low abs. Now, though earlier I was talking about some other options for your plank, we're going to take one of those options here where he's just going to rock forward onto his toes and drop back through those heels. A little rock forward, nice high lift, and a drop back towards the heels. Now notice how he's still staying in a nice beautiful plank position as he rocks forward and back, long length from head down to those feet. We'll do one more rock, forward and back. And as those heels drop back down, he's going to send his hips back into a forward fold. Now you can keep your hands on top of the shoulder blocks. Maybe they drop to the frame, or maybe they drop down towards your feet, towards your ankles, into the well with you. Wherever you're at, we're going to stay here for an inhale as you soften both knees. Drop your tail, slowly roll your way up one vertebrae at a time to come back to your standing position. Once your head has arrived, take a moment, let the blood settle down, maybe take a couple of shoulder rolls while you're there, just to allow that body to come back into its upright position. Now, when you go to dismount and come out of the well, again, just be mindful of the ropes and the straps. So I'm going to ask Calvin to step on out. We're going to get ready for some articulated bridging. So he's going to come around, lay on his back, nice and flat here. The headrest will stay in the down position for our bridging. Now, I'm going to give him 2 reds and a blue spring. Me personally, in my body, I like to bridge with my heels on the foot bar. You can certainly do arches or toes on the foot bar wherever you feel the most secure. Hands will press down into the carriage beside you. And before I ask Calvin to roll up into his bridge, I'm going to have him just do a few pelvic rocks forward and back, just isolating through that pelvis. So we can check back in with those lower abdominals. We can check back in with the lower back extensors and just see if there's anything that needs a breath or a little extra attention. Now with these pelvic rocks forward and back, I'm going to ask him to start to make them a little bigger. So as he tucks under and starts a little peel up, maybe half of a bridge, the pelvis goes first, then maybe just the lower back. He'll roll back down and at the bottom, spill that pelvis forward. Big breath in. Imprint that low spine, now peeling up a little bit higher, maybe making your way to the ribs. Taking a nice big inhale at the top here, rolling back down vertebrae by vertebrae. At the bottom, that little tilt forward again to the reverse direction. Inhale, exhale, imprint that low spine, peel yourself up a little higher to your highest bridge. Be mindful at the top of our bridges, sometimes we go too high and end up in a little extension. Back off a little and retuck that pelvis, finding that length in the back and your lower abs. Now here he's going to stay high and press his legs out into extension, maybe 2 inches or all the way straight, and then pull all the way back in. Pressing out 2, 5, 10 inches, and then pulling back in. Now, if this spring setting is too light for you at home, you can always add a yellow. So you would have 2 reds, a blue, and a yellow if your hamstrings need a little bit more support. Now we're going to add on to this bridge. His next press out, I'm going to ask him to hold the out position. Stay here as much as you can as you start to roll down through your spine, 1 vertebrae at a time. Once the pelvis is back down on the carriage, he's going to bend his knees, come back into the stopper. At the stopper, inhale, exhale, roll back up into your bridge. At the top of the bridge, we're going to press that carriage back out. Nice big breath in. Exhale, roll down through your spine and bend those knees back in. One more time following this pattern. Inhale, exhale, roll up. At the top, inhale as you press out. Exhale, roll down through your spine. Bend those knees, come back in, take a nice big inhale. Now we reverse the pattern. Press that carriage out, almost all the way straight, holding the soft bend in your knees. Roll up through your spine here. It's a tricky part. At the top, you're gonna bend your knees, come in a little bit higher, articulate a little bit more when you pull the carriage in. Exhale, roll down through your spine. Staying low as you press the carriage almost all the way out. Holding here, roll through that spine. And as you roll up, we have to soften those knees to get a little bit higher, scooping through the belly a little bit deeper, and then roll back down. Last one in this direction. Exhale, press that carriage out and roll up through your spine. Good. Inhale, bend those knees. Come all the way in. Inhale, exhale, roll down through that spine. At the bottom, if you need to take a little knee drop side to side just to kind of shake things out through his lower back or through your lower back at home. Moving on to a little bit of our feet and straps flow. We will be progressing this up into some short spine. So if that's not in your practice, just know that that's coming at the end of our feet and straps if you need to modify it all. Now I'm gonna give Calvin a red, a blue, and a yellow. So kind of in between spring settings. Right? A red and a blue might be too light, two reds might be too heavy. So we're gonna see how the spring setting feels, and if we need to adjust, we can always adjust. At home, one red, one blue, two reds, or again, what Calvin has here, one red, one blue, one yellow. So we're gonna take his feet now into the long straps. We'll keep the headrest in the down position just since we will be going up into that spinal articulation. Before we get there, I'm going to ask him to come into Pilates V for a few frog presses. An inhale to bend those knees in towards your chest, and an exhale to press the carriage out. Now, for me, for frog, I encourage what works best for you and your body. If you would like a little bit more narrow, a traditional stance of Pilates V, about a fist distance between the toes. If you would like to work a little bit wider, work a little bit more through your rotation, you can always go a little bit wider with those feet. We'll take two more here, just pressing out, squeezing through those inner thighs, bending back in. Press on out, squeeze through those inner thighs. Now, Calvin, as you come in, just come halfway in. If you could imagine like a long diamond shape between those legs. Keep that diamond shape. Keep those heels pressing into each other. Just now lift those legs up towards the ceiling and then hinge and lower them back down. Keeping that same distance of that long diamond as you lift and as you lower. Really allowing this motion to hinge from the hip joint as he goes up and down. We'll do that just a couple more times. Straight up and down. Beautiful, nice long spine, heavy shoulders. As he comes halfway down, I'm going to ask him to press those legs all the way out nice and straight, and we'll go through some circles. Now again, you can take your circles a little bit more traditional, smaller within the frame of the carriage. If you prefer to go a little bit wider, you can go a little wider. Working within a range that works best in your body, for your hips, for that control of your spine and your pelvis. Take anywhere from like 3 to 5 circles, always going with your breath and around. As those legs come back together, go ahead, lift them up to the ceiling. We're going to reverse your direction, pulling down through the center. Maybe a small circle, maybe a little bit bigger, always with control. And I always like to move with breath, allowing my breath to help me with a little bit of power on an exhale or a little extra length on my inhale. So now after his last circle, we're going to combine the frog presses, those diamond lift and lowers, and take this progressively into some short spine. Now with short spine, I like to use my hands and really press into the carriage beside me if I need a little bit of support. I'm gonna be back here to kind of help spot the carriage just in case Calvin needs some assistance. For those of you at home, progressively work your way up through your spine. If something doesn't work, please feel free to modify or just come back down and take some stretches. So he's gonna keep those heels together in that Pilates V position. On his inhale, I'm going to ask him to tilt those feet up towards the ceiling. As he tilts up towards the ceiling, now slightly imprint that spine. Begin your roll up, just a half roll up. Feet come up and over. Hold here, good. And then roll back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Straight legs, pull back down towards the floor. Good, nice big inhale as those legs tip up and over your sternum. Start to imprint that spine, rolling your way up. Good, and then roll your way back down, straight legs pull. Now we're gonna get a little bit higher on our next couple, so just kind of working your way up into that full short spine position. Feet send back over his forehead, nice high lift, inhale, exhale, slowly roll back down. Now this last one, we're gonna add in that full spine choreography or short spine choreography. He's gonna stay long as he rolls up, trying to keep a little tension in those ropes as he rolls up. Hips will stay high here. He's gonna bend his knees down towards the shoulder blocks. Feet will stay over his face as he starts his roll down. And then when he can't keep his feet there anymore, he's gonna come down through that diamond shape, pressing down and out through his frog to complete that movement. Zipping together those legs. Inhale, lift those legs up. Long legs, exhale, roll up. Good, high hips. Inhale, bend those knees down. Exhale, roll through the spine, pressing down and through that diamond, down and out through frog. We'll take one more in this direction. Long legs, inhale, lift up to the ceiling. They send long out and away from you, pressing through those arms. Inhale, bend those knees down. Exhale, roll through your spine, press down and out through your frog position. Now, once we've gotten that in our system and the hang of that choreography, we're going to reverse it. Heels still stay together. You first start by bending into frog. From frog, we kind of fold up into that long diamond shape, starting your roll up. Feet go over your nose, over your forehead, hips stack. Shoot those legs long, finding a little tension in the ropes. Vertebrae by vertebrae, we roll down through the spine. Straight legs start the pull on those straps. Straight legs pull down through center. Beautiful. Take an inhale as you bend those knees in. Use that exhale to help you roll up, stacking those hips over the shoulders. Inhale, long legs, zip together. Exhale, roll down through your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, pulling straight legs through center. One more in that direction. Take a nice big inhale, bend those knees, using the strength in those abs, roll up, shooting those legs long when you're at the stopper. Long legs keep reaching as you roll down through that spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Down at the bottom, take one more straight leg pull through center. And the best part are some stretches at the end. So go ahead, bend those knees on in. My favorite, you're gonna grab onto the straps here with your hands. With your hands pulling gently onto your feet, elbows go into the knees. You're going to gently press into your knees with those elbows, hopefully finding a little inner thigh stretch, hip stretch, maybe a lower back stretch. If this doesn't work for you, you can always take long legs up to the ceiling, still gently holding onto the ropes for a hamstring stretch. You can gently pull on both straps, maybe one knee bends while one leg stays long. You can stay there for a breath or two before you switch sides. And then if you prefer maybe a deeper inner thigh stretch, legs long can always open out to the side for an inner thigh stretch. Now, Calvin has a great range of motion. Take it as what works best for you at home. When you're ready to come out of this, bend those knees back in either to frog or to tabletop, gently taking one foot out at a time, finding that foot bar. And however you would like to dismount by hanging up the loops if you need to drop them to the floor. And as always, when you go to come up or get down onto the equipment, go with control as carriage might be a little squirrely underneath you. Hope you enjoyed some spinal articulation. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time.